OMG, Freya? Are you there? Hey, I'm trying to talk to you right now.
I'm sorry, what is it? What do you want to talk about, Lucy?
What took you so long to get back to me, huh? If I text you, you should respond to me in no more than a minute. That's just common courtesy. I mean, are we friends that go way back, or aren't we? It really is the least you can do.
I'm sorry, Lucy, but some of us have jobs and don't have time to stare at our phones all day. I'm more than happy to talk to you, but you have to be patient.
I don't care about what lame excuse you have. Just get back to me right away when I text you.
Are you going to tell me what it is you want?
What do you mean, what do I want?
I mean, did you message me just to tell me to respond to you quickly, or did you have something you actually wanted to tell me about?
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Is it true that you and Jackson are going to be getting married?
I take it that you received our wedding invitation then?
I did, yeah. And then I went to your mom to ask her just what kind of guy this Jackson fellow really is. But is it true that he makes almost $150,000 just working freelance?
Wait a second. You started looking into my husband before you even came to me to talk about him?
I also heard that he's really handsome. So basically, you have a really rich, sexy, freelance fiancé. Just what kind of work does he actually do to earn money like that? Do you have any pictures of him? Tell me what kind of girl he likes.
Those are all rather personal questions about him that I don't feel comfortable answering.
Oh, come on. Are you seriously going to shut me down like that?
Well, could you at least pretend like the reason you want to see a photo of him isn't because you heard he was handsome?
So you admit it, and now you're just going to try and hide him from me. That's so mean.
If you want to learn about him, I guess you'll just have to wait for the wedding and reception to learn a little more about him.
Well, what's the difference if I learn about him now or later? Just hurry up and tell me what I want to know about him.
Look, I'm not going to have this conversation like this, alright? I'm really busy planning for the wedding and don't have time for this. Please only message me if it's some kind of emergency, okay?
I can't believe you, Freya. I thought that you and I were still friends after all this time. Oh no! I can't believe this! I can't believe that I slept in!
You slept in? What do you mean?
I mean that I'm hopping on the bus right now!
Oh, I was wondering when you were going to show up. Were you really just sleeping in? Well, we're about to start the lunch, so you might still be able to make it for that.
Oh man, so I already missed so much of it, and here I was wanting to take my time and see what kind of men were going to be there.
Lucy, can you please not use my wedding for a chance to pick up men?
Oh, Freya, even though you're getting married, you're still so naive. I'm not coming to pick up men. I'm coming to find the man who instantly falls head over heels in love with me. Even if that man happens to be Jackson.
And just what does my fiancé have to do with any of those?
Well, I warned what might happen if you didn't show me a picture of Jackson, so whatever comes next is your fault.
You better not even think about trying to make it past that Jackson. Got it?
Oh, I'm so scared. And just what do you think Jackson would think if he knew this is how you talk to people in private?
All I'm asking of you is not to cause a scene at my wedding, okay?
Whatever you say, Freya. Whatever you say. Hey, Freya! I thought of some more questions that I just had to ask you. I just really want to see what your fiancé looks like. I don't want to have to wait another week for the wedding. So just show me a picture of him now. And you should probably think about showing him a picture of me as well. It would just be awful for your fiancé to suddenly see me at his wedding and fall in love since I'm so much prettier than you. I feel like you'd save yourself a lot of trouble if you just did what I said. In fact, you might want to think about just preparing yourself to be let down on your wedding day. What if Jackson and I lock eyes and in that moment realize that we're meant for each other? I know it's not guaranteed, but it's more likely than you think. So just show me a picture of him and make sure to show him a picture of me too. I'll be waiting. Hey, you have got some serious explaining to do, Freya. Jackson is totally my type. I'm sure that him and I are destined to be together. And you guys are still in the middle of your lunch, right? But Jackson's waiting outside the hall? I guess this is my chance. Time to see if Jackson is my soulmate.
What the heck are all these messages, Lucy? I'm just reading all of them right now. And you weren't even at my wedding. So what are you talking about?
Well, it's just that I was right. It turns out that Jackson and I are soulmates. So I took your husband and ran off with him.
No, seriously. What are you even talking about?
There's no use in trying to stop us. We already did it.
Excuse me? I have no idea what any of this is about.
I mean that I found Jackson outside of the banquet room. Took him to the bathroom and him and I did it there.
That's not what I mean. I don't understand what you're saying because Jackson is right here with me.
Come on now. You're gonna have to come up with a better lie than that. How are you going to pretend like your husband didn't ditch you in the middle of your wedding?
I'm not pretending anything. The wedding went as planned and without a hitch. The ceremony is over, and I invited some of the guests over to my parents for another small gathering.
I don't get why you're trying to trick me like this when I already know none of that is true. Anyways, you might hear from me at some point in the future. But for the time being, I think you and I need some space from each other.
Lucy, I really don't think that you know what's going on right now.
It's too late. Your man is already mine.
I seriously think you're making a mistake here. Lucy! You made a huge mistake! Do you even realize what you've done? You didn't sleep with my fiancé! You didn't sleep with Jackson! There was another wedding going on in the same venue as ours, and that's the groom who you slept with! Have your parents not reached out to tell you any of this? Things are going crazy over here, so go to your parents' place and talk to them! You're not even reading my messages. Did you block me or something? Lucy, I'm serious. This is really bad.
Freya, are you there? I really need your help. Please? Why are you suing Jackson and I? Are we really going to have to pay all the cancellation fees for your wedding? Can't you just forgive us as old friends and a former fiancé? I know that you're not really this vengeful of a person, so please, just make it all stop.
Wow, Lucy, I'm surprised to be hearing from you. But just what are you wanting my help with?
What do you mean? Didn't you just send me this letter letting me know that you're going to be suing me for ruining your wedding?
I did not, actually. Did you even read where that letter was sent from?
But who else could it be from? It has to be you.
You mean you didn't even check to see who it's from? At least do that before reaching out to me.
Okay, hold on. Wait, who the heck is Lizzie?
I imagine that Lizzie is probably the former fiancé of the man you stole on my wedding day.
Wait, what do you mean?
Did you even read any of the messages that I tried to send you the night of my wedding?
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
I sent you a message explaining how there were 2 weddings happening, mine and one other. You stole the groom from the other wedding, not mine. And I'm assuming that this Lizzie woman was the one who was going to marry whoever this guy of yours is.
Wait, hold on a second. This doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I'm assuming that even their jobs are different, right? Because I already told you that Jackson makes his money working as a freelance. What does your man do for a living?
Well, he just stays at home all day, so I assumed that meant he was a freelance. Working freelance means that you do everything from home, right?
Are you really telling me you've been with this man for 6 whole months and haven't realized you got the wrong person?
Well, I've just been out working so much these past 6 months. Jackson told me that he didn't have any money since it all went into the wedding, and that we'd both have to work for a while.
I really can't believe you let yourself be tricked into dating a complete stranger for a whole half a year.
No, you aren't right. This is all just some kind of prank or something.
Why don't you go and ask your Jackson for the truth then?
Fine, I will. I don't believe it! Their names are completely different!
I take it that you finally checked on what this mystery man's name actually is?
I thought that I'd seen his driver's license at least once, but I can't actually remember.
I don't believe you. How you could go through all the trouble of trying to steal someone's fiancé and then not even make sure you had the right guy? And here I thought you two were soulmates.
But I really did think I had the right person.
Well, anyways, since you stole this other woman's man, I think she's well within her right to punish the two of you. Just don't come crying to me about it. It's not my problem.
You can't actually mean that, right?
I think that maybe you should just actually read through that letter you got and make sure you have all the details before you make another move.
Well, I tried reaching out to my parents before you, but I think they might have changed their numbers and I can't get a hold of them.
Your parents sold their house and moved a while back.
Wait, what?
And your dad quit his job too.
But why? Why would they do that without telling me?
Well, they felt so guilty for what you did that when this other woman managed to track them down, they agreed to pay for the private investigator who she hired to track you two down. But it took so long to find you both that they burned through all their savings and finally had to sell their house.
So then, where are they? What's happened to their home?
I don't know. I just know that they sold their house and moved. But I don't know their new address or even what their numbers are now.
Well, then you're the only one who can help me now.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's all your fault if you think about it. You never told me there were 2 weddings that day, so you kind of owe me, don't you think?
You know, I didn't even want to invite you to my wedding in the first place.
What are you talking about, Freya?
I mean that ever since we were in school together, you're always trying to steal boyfriends from other girls. In fact, the only reason I invited you was because our parents used to be close business partners, and I didn't want to risk hurting those ties. But then you had the nerve to try and use that chance to steal my fiancé from me.
Freya, please! You know this has all just been a big misunderstanding. You have to forgive me. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into at all. Please, you have to listen to me.
So, if you want to talk about responsibility, why don't you go look in the mirror first? But don't you come begging to me for help, because at the end of the day, Jackson, the real Jackson, that is, and I, have nothing to do with any of this. If you want help, you're barking up the wrong tree. You got yourself into this mess, and now you're going to have to get yourself out of it.
Freya, please don't be like this. I'm so sorry.
I don't care. Don't come to me for help with problems that you got yourself into. And don't even cause trouble for my family again, or I will call the police.
So you're really not going to help me at all?
Goodbye, Lucy. It turns out that Lucy and this other guy had actually gone to courthouse to get married. And yet, somehow, she still hadn't learned his name. But after being served with a lawsuit, the two of them decided to divorce. As part of the settlement, Lucy was offered a job at a factory belonging to the woman whose fiancé she stole's parents. She had no choice but to take it in order to help her pay down her legal fees. Not only that, but I heard part of the deal was that Lucy would have to live in the company's dorms with an ankle bracelet and have her every move carefully watched by her bosses. I only hope that this serves as a good lesson for Lucy, if she ever manages to free herself from all that debt. As for Jackson and I, we really weren't all that affected by any of Lucy's antic, since she had the wrong guy from the very beginning. I remember that Jackson had told me he thought I was worried too much when I said that I didn't want to invite Lucy, but he quickly realized how narrowly he had dodged a bullet. Throughout all of this, however, the ones I feel most sorry for are Lucy's parents. They were never able to tame Lucy's wild spirit when she was a student, and it's clear she took the same attitude she had then into adulthood. Although, when I told Lucy that I didn't know where her parents had moved to, or how to contact them, that was a lie. They had asked me to keep that a secret from Lucy, in case she ever showed up again. Instead, even though they lost their business, my parents found work for them at a branch company near their new house. It was the least they felt they could do for such old business partners.
Hey, Martha. You did get my wedding invitation, right? No need you to respond, but I know you're coming. I already reserved you a seat anyway. Seriously? How could I not invite my childhood friend to my wedding? You're coming like it or not. I didn't even realize who was this for a second. Is this really you, Maya? Yeah, I got the invitation. I'm not attending, so scratch me off the list. You gotta be kidding me. This is the most important event of the century. Sorry, but I have something else on that day. I just can't get out of it. What? No way! You have to! No, I demand that you attend. You seem to have made up your mind that you want nothing to do with me, but I'm not having it. You're attending one way or another. If you don't attend for one reason or another, well, you know what I'm gonna do. I'll tell everyone that you're still fuming from when I took your boyfriend from the way back in high school, and that you're still a childish, pity-minded juvenile. Wait, could you back up? What are you talking about taking my boyfriend? Are you seriously asking me that? Didn't you see the name on the wedding invitation? Yeah, I saw it. First time seeing that name didn't ring any bells. Where'd you meet this guy? Whoa, stop right here. Are you for real? Yeah, for real. Why so surprised? Oh, wait a second, I get it. You're pretending like you don't know the guy, and somehow use that reason to get out of attending. Is that it? Please, Maya, I don't have time for this. Have you taken any leave of your senses? What are you saying? I'm deranged? You're the one who's not making any senses, Martha. Why are you trying so hard to erase the fact that I took care of a guy in high school? I don't see why you don't just accept the fact. It was a long time ago, for God's sake. That's why I call taking leave of your senses, if you ask me. Sorry, Maya. It's no use talking to you. Anyway, like I said, I'm busy on that day. I can't attend. End of the story. I can't reschedule. I just can't. What could be more important than your childhood friend's wedding? At least tell me that. Important enough that I turned down the invitation. Is that so hard to accept? Come on, be a pal. For old time's sake. I better get going. See ya. I'm not giving up, Martha. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna have your place ready for you no matter what. I knew you were going to come. I just knew it. I had no doubt in my mind that you would show up. I can read you like a book, Martha. When you get all beady-eyed about something, you won't give up until your curiosity is satisfied. In other words, you were so eager to find out about your ex-boyfriend that you had to attend or you couldn't bear it. Am I right, aren't I? I was positive you would show up, no matter how hard-nosed you were about not attending. Maya, you again? What is it this time? Just thought you may be sweating bullets right now. Don't you see your name in the register at the entrance, right? Well, Martha, have news for you. What a total clown show! To see you coming snooping around just to see your ex-beau from high school. Who's going to be my everlasting partner in like 10 minutes? Just leave the wedding gift at the reception desk. So sorry, no seat for you. I know I said I would have one ready no matter what, but surprise, I lied. Oh yeah, about that. So how much did you bring as a wedding gift? Of course, it doesn't even mean I'll prepare a seat for you. No need to worry about that. Why should the bride bring a wedding gift? Pardon me? My ex-beau, as you put it, you must mean my ex-boyfriend from high school. We had our ups and downs through the years, of course, but we somehow worked things out. We even started living together 2 years ago, and we finally made it to this day, our wedding day. Pardon me, Martha, you're being incoherent. You do realize that, right? I'm seriously starting to worry about your mental state, Martha. You say you were living with him for 2 years? That's nuts, because I was the one living with him the past few years. And what's this about you being the bride? I'm sorry. I really should have figured it out. You saw me at the wedding hall, but still failed to make head or tail of the situation. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Get to the point, would you? I just figure out my name is really not that common. Our family names were on the wedding list at the entrance to the wedding hall. What? Wedding list? You do know that there are other weddings taking place here today. After all, that's what a wedding hall is. Or did you think you guys were the only people having a wedding here? Anyway, there's a board out front that shows all the weddings taking place today. I saw yours there, by the way. I only noticed mine out there, to be honest. Didn't even glance at it, huh? Figures? Come to think of it, the wedding planner did mention that there would be another wedding on the second floor. The second floor chapel is supposed to be twice as big and much more extravagant than the one on the first floor, which is pretty tiny in comparison. That's the one. Finally, worked it out. That's our wedding, the one on the second floor. Pardon me? Actually, I was shocked to learn that we were having our weddings at the very same wedding hall. Who would have thought? What a twist of fate, huh? But we sure were lucky that our invitations didn't screw up. Huh? Considering we've known each other for so long, our invitations were mostly business related. So maybe that's why I guess this answers your questions on why I couldn't attend your wedding. With that said, let's focus on the proceeding of our own respective weddings, why don't we? What do you say? Talk to you again. Wait, are you nuts? What is this? What's this all about? I'll tell you this right now, Martha. My husband-to-be is not going to be yours. He's not going upstairs to marry you. You're out of your damn mind. You're his ex-flame. He's mine now. Can't you get it through that little head of yours, Martha? He loves me, not you. You must be totally delusional to go out and reserve a wedding hall and invite all those guests. And to reserve that huge chapel upstairs. You're a total disgrace. He's not dropping me and going upstairs to marry you. You're going to be standing at the altar all alone, twiddling your thumbs. Give it up, Martha. I win. Martha, pick up right this minute. What the hell is going on here? The groom didn't show up to my wedding. Did you even notice your now husband is a completely different person? What's about that? Oh, so the wedding planner explained everything to you in detail, I see. I asked the wedding staff to make sure you didn't barge into my wedding by mistake. Sure glad I went to the trouble. I didn't want to mention that I was having the wedding on the same day. I didn't plan it that, by the way. Didn't want taking it the wrong way and causing you to react negatively, as you tend to do. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. About this ex-boyfriend that you supposedly stole from me. That story just didn't mesh with mine, so I asked a friend of mine who went to high school hoping she would enlighten me. That guy you were supposed to marry, wasn't his name Dwayne Peterson? That's right, so what? My husband's name is Daniel, Dan Peters. The names kinda sound alike, so I figured out maybe there was some sort of misunderstanding, name-wise. Huh? You still have me at a lose, Martha. What is this, some kind of joke? All right. Let me explain. As you know, I went to East Memorial High School. Yeah, obviously, and that's where I took your boyfriend, Dwayne Peterson. I say it now, but the reason why I took him from you is because I couldn't stand it with you to get a guy before me. That's why. Dwayne was attending the daytime classes, right? I was only a part-time student. I was attending the evening classes, so actually I never met Dwayne Peterson. Not even sure what he looks like, to be honest. What are you talking about, part-time student? We were pretty good friends up until junior high, but once we got into high school, we weren't that close anymore. Maybe that's why you didn't know my situation. Right before high school, my dad passed away, and I had to move in with my grandparents the next town over. It was hard times back then with my father gone. I had to take on a part-time job to help my mom out. That's why I was forced to attend the evening classes on a part-time basis. That's where I met Dan, this guy I married today. Are you serious? This seems so far-fetched. Wait a minute. That name Dan Peters kinda sound familiar. Could it be Tri-Same guy that was on the news a few months back? Something about rescuing his dad's company, which was on the verge of bankruptcy. By restructuring the whole company and introducing unique ideas, that guy? Oh yeah, that was when the piece aired on the popular variety program a few months back. That's not fair! Excuse me? This kind of means that if I hadn't mistaken your boyfriend, if I hadn't sold Dan instead of Dwayne, then I would have been standing at the altar upstairs instead of you. Why is that you get all the breaks? Why do you get to marry someone super successful guy? Why? It's just not fair. There you go again. Totally not making a bit of sense. The only reason you made this mistake is because you didn't properly verify anything. Maybe you should have put more thought into it before you went ahead. This is not my fault. I mean, think about it, Maya. You spent the last 10 years thinking that you stole my boyfriend from me. You never doubted it for 1 second? You dug your own grave, Maya. No one is to blame but yourself. Don't shift the blame to me, like I said. I have nothing to do with your delusions. But it's just unfair. It's not right. Listen, Maya. There's something really important that you're completely forgetting. What are you talking about? Did you say that your wedding was cancelled because Dwayne didn't show up? Did you ever get hold of Dwayne? He's... Before you start bombarding me with messages online, it seems you have a lot other stuff to worry about. I've got plenty of worries, thank you. What are you talking about anyway? Don't you need to talk to the guy about the consequences of not showing up? Could you mean you're eligible for damages or who's gonna pay for the wedding? I mean, it isn't cheap. I should know. Yeah, you're right. What am I gonna do? I just gotta find that jerk. Martha, if you're there, pick up. Lend me $50,000, I beg you. Stop right there, Maya. Calm down for a second. Say again. I need $50,000. I have to pay for half of the wedding. That's why you need $50,000? Not that I'm bragging or anything, but I heard that your wedding was on a smaller scale than mine. Why would you need $50,000 if you're splitting the cost? No, it's not just the wedding. That also includes the amount I have to my boss's wife. Huh? Why do you have to pay that? It has nothing to do with your wedding. Hold on a second. Don't tell me you're having an affair with a boss's wife. I didn't figure out she would, Oh my god. Impeccable timing, Maya. Right when you scheduled your wedding, she finds out about the affair, and now this... It wasn't supposed to be this way. Incidentally, did you find out what happened to Dwayne and why didn't he show up to the wedding? I finally got a hold of him. Apparently, he was also cheating on me. He came to the conclusion that he loved the other woman more and decided to marry her instead. Can you believe it? Good gracious! Sounds like something with a soap opera. And it turns out that because we were both cheating on each other, neither of us could sue for damages. As for the wedding cost, we had to split that. In addition that I have to pay damages to my boss's wife. I see. So that's why your debt ballooned to $50,000, is that it? Yeah, so you'll do it, right? That $50,000, your husband's successful guy, the president of a company. What's a measly $50,000, right? Good grief, Maya. You have to be kidding me. Huh? Why not? That's like chump change to you. I'm not the CEO of the company. My husband is. I can't just use the funds whenever I want. Then why wouldn't you just ask him? He'll do anything you say. I think no. No matter how many times you ask, not in a million years. But I have no one else to turn to. My folks slammed the door on me and I already broke up with my boss. Come on, Martha, for old time's sake, we were best friends at one time, weren't we? So please. There's one thing you got right. We were friends. That's past tense. After junior high, I stopped considering you a friend. Please, Martha, don't say that. I think I'm officially getting dizzy. Gotta go. See ya. Childhood relationships can last forever, but only if circumstances remain cordial. Just because we live down the street from each other doesn't mean we're friends for life. She always dragged me into her selfish antics until I just got totally fed up and wanted nothing to do with her. I later heard from one of Maya's friends. Seems she's really in dire circumstances. For starters, she got kicked out of the apartment that she was sharing with Dwayne after she said her parents want nothing to do with her, so going home wasn't an option. The only option was to get a small one-room apartment over One Market Street for something like $200 a month. As for her job, she invited a bunch of people from the office and considering what went down at the wedding, she wasn't exactly welcomed back by her co-workers. I heard she eventually resigned and is now working various part-time jobs. According to a friend, she's living a theater bar life, just barely trying to make ends meet.